Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Simple Man Podcast. My name is Brody. There's not really much going on in the Star Wars world right now, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to talk about here. Just kidding. Star Wars is absolutely thriving right now. I've got Star Wars injected into my veins. Oh my God, Star Wars Celebration has been dropping some absolute bangers, and I'm so excited to go over those with you guys. I'm going to tell you guys pretty much everything I know from Star Wars Celebration, what I've heard outside of that as well. But yeah, I'm so pumped up. I was going to cover Mando pretty heavily in this episode, but kind of forgot that Star Wars Celebration was this weekend, and I mean, they blew it out of the park with all the news that they've dropped, and we've got a lot to cover for sure. But I do want to talk about Mando just a little bit. This was an interesting episode in terms of the fandom response to it, so we will definitely get into that a little bit. But before we do, if you wouldn't just be a dear and go subscribe to my YouTube, I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. It's an absolute grind, folks. It really is. I've been been putting out videos a ton, pretty much every day. So I would really appreciate if you subscribe there if you're not already, and if you are listening on Apple or Spotify, please send your boy a review on there. It makes a big difference in the visibility of the show. So hope everybody had a great weekend. I know I did with all this big Star Wars news going on. Before we get into Star Wars Celebration and all that, Mando Chapter 22. Oh, or should we just call it the Jack Black and Lizzo show? No, I actually really enjoyed it. A lot of fans, they thought this was an atrocity to Star Wars. I was getting a similar vibe as The Last Jedi, and the things that people are saying about it, like it's ruining Star Wars, and it's just complete garbage and trash, and Favreau doesn't know what he's doing with Star Wars. It's just so reminiscent of things that were said about The Last Jedi and other projects as well. But I think this was the first time that Mando has really received like a lot of hate, and it's pretty interesting to see people kind of turn on the show. You know, it's so funny to me when, Mando's been so loved for the past 2 seasons. People have been praising Favreau and Filoni for what they've done with the show. And, 6 episodes later, they're turning their backs and saying it's the worst thing ever. And Favreau has no idea what he's doing. And I just think that's interesting. And it's kind of like, a bandwagon type mentality. If you're a fan of a sports team and they're having a bad season, you don't turn your back on them. I'm not saying Mando's having a bad season whatsoever. I think it's been pretty epic. The story, I think I've said before, it's bounced around a lot, but overall, I think we're set up for a pretty fantastic last 2 episodes, and I think this season has been so much fun. As far as this last episode went, I mean, I can understand people's kind of frustrations with it, but I had so much fun with this episode. It felt like something George Lucas would make in my eyes. All the battle droid sequences and just the fun of the episode, it really felt like something out of the Clone Wars, and I feel like George probably would have liked this episode. And it did have, some goofiness to it with Jack Black and Lizzo, and, say what you want about those parts. Maybe Lizzo wasn't the best actor, and maybe Jack Black, he gave it his all. I mean, he was Jack Black in Star Wars, and I kind of loved it. But it was just good fun, and I really don't see anything wrong with it. People are acting like because it's the 6th episode, like it's not allowed to be a fun episode, like it has to be so insanely story-driven, when, I don't know, when you compare that to the 6th episode of the first season, I mean, I feel like it's pretty on par with the level of story development, so I had fun with it. I thought Grogu was really cute. I loved the ending where we see Din, give up the Darksaber to Bo. People are saying that doesn't make any sense, and they wish that didn't happen like that, but I don't know. To me, nothing's not made sense. Like, there's always reasons for things. Even the whole battle droid thing and the droid aspect of this episode, it felt like a full circle moment for this story. We start out with Din pretty much hating on droids, and, the B2 battle droids specifically were the ones that killed his parents, and here we are in front of those droids again, and Din's kicking him around, and ultimately they end up kind of helping the droids, and it's kind of a first full circle moment for Din. So I thought it was good fun, and then the ending with the privateer Mandalorians, Axe Woves, and company. Bo-Katan kicking Axe Woves' ass was awesome, and I don't know. I just don't have a problem with the way that the show has been portrayed, and I've been having so much fun. So I hope you guys are too, and I would love to hear your thoughts on Chapter 22. So definitely hit me up on the gram or whatever. Chapter 22 was a lot of fun, so looking forward to the last two episodes. Now, enough about all that Mando mumbo jumbo. I mean, who even cares at this point? We got Ahsoka, we got Rey Skywalker, we got Dave Filoni, we got freaking Jedi Survivor, we got Acolyte. I mean, come on, guys. Are we not living in the golden age of Star Wars right now? I mean, I woke up Friday morning to all this Star Wars news. The Ahsoka trailer dropped, and oh my gosh, I literally could not focus on a single thing while I was at work because there was just so much going on in the Star Wars world. And I mean, I'll just dive right into it. The Ahsoka trailer was the first thing that I saw when I woke up on Friday, and to be honest, I was like blown away. It felt so Star Warsy. I mean, we have Ahsoka, which is obviously she's such a historic Star Wars character, and the show's going to focus on her. But we had glimpses of Thrawn and Ezra. Sabine was there, Chopper, Hera. I mean, it just felt so Star Warsy. And I mean, for anybody who is a fan of Star Wars Rebels, this is pretty much a continuation of a lot of those character stories. So it was very fulfilling to see the live action representations of those characters for sure. I mean, and I'm so interested in these Dark Jedi figures. Their names are apparently Balin and Shin. I didn't know that. I made like 2 whole videos on who these people could be, like, because I was so excited. And then like a few hours later, there was like all this information on these characters. But I don't want to get too, I don't know. It's a little spoiler, on the fence of being a spoiler, but they look really cool. They're like these Dark Jedi individuals, and that was probably what got me the most hyped about the trailer, was seeing those. And it just felt like Star Wars Legends. Like, we get to see these Jedi figures after Palpatine and everything. And it just felt like a story out of Legends. And I'm so excited to see it. I mean, I've seen some people talking crap already, of course, but I guess that's to be expected with anything. It looks really good to me. I think the production value looks good. These obviously aren't 100% finished shots, I don't think. I mean, it is a teaser trailer, and the show still has 4 months before it comes out. So I think it's going to look a lot. I mean, it looked good to me, but it's going to look even better when it officially comes out. And the story just seems so unique. We got Lars Mikkelsen as Thrawn again. He was the voice actor from Star Wars Rebels, and he is returning to play the character in live action. So there's a released image. Somebody took a screenshot of the exclusive trailer that they showed at Star Wars Celebration, and it's not the best high quality picture, but it does give a good look at what Thrawn looks like. So go look that up. It looks awesome, and I can't wait to see him in live action. Just his voice is enough, but he looks really great. So I literally cannot wait for this show, and I feel like it might be one of the most unique Star Wars stories that we've seen on screen. So super, super excited that it's coming out in August of this year. And it will be 8 episodes, supposedly. And they've been like, in quotations, saying season 1 of Ahsoka. So who knows? Maybe they're setting it up for season 2. We shall see. I feel like the next big thing, the biggest news of the weekend, other than Ahsoka, was Rey Skywalker is returning. They are making a movie set 15 years after the rise of Skywalker, and it'll star Daisy Ridley as Jedi Master Rey Skywalker. And oh man, as a sequel fan, I think you guys know my opinion on that. It just feels very validating to hear that, and to Rey's not my absolute favorite character, but I really love Rey, and Daisy Ridley's a great actor, so it's going to be awesome to see a movie with her rebuilding the Jedi Order in that time period, and just the advancements of that story. I don't think it's necessarily going to be like a Skywalker saga anymore, but I'm sure there will be a lot of ties to it, and we'll see what happens after the rise of Skywalker. Now, obviously, there's quite a few people who are upset at the fact that this is happening, but like I said, it just feels validating. It feels like sequel fans won. And I honestly love the fact that Lucasfilm is just like doubling down on the sequels after so many freaking dumb theory videos about how they're going to be decanonized, or there's going to be some multiverse where the sequels are in, the bad universe, and it just doesn't make any sense. And obviously they're, sticking to the story, and the sequels are canon, obviously. So can't wait for that. I think that is supposed to come out in 2025, December of 2025. So we shall see if there's any further developments on that within the next few months. The next big announcement was a film that will be directed and helmed by Dave Filoni himself. Mr. Cowboy Hat, Plo Koon fan. He's finally getting his own Star Wars movie. I feel like a lot of fans have been calling for this for quite some time. I trust Dave Filoni with my life, so I'm really looking forward to it. It's supposedly a grand finale to the whole Mando era, all those Disney Plus shows. It's going to be sort of like a grand finale, culmination of everything. And it's not supposed to come out for another like 6 to 7 years, I think is what Kathleen Kennedy said. So there's some time to build the story there even more than it already is. And I think it's going to be like, a kind of endgame type deal where, a lot of characters come together from that era to probably just defeat the Empire once and for all. And then, they'll move into the First Order. But there's nothing really more that we know about that. But I trust Dave Filoni. And with those characters in that time period, he's done a great job with what he's done in terms of Mando. So I'm looking forward to it. The last film that was announced out of 3 was a Star Wars film directed by James Mangold. This will be set 25,000 years before The Phantom Menace, which, is just so far back. So, if it doesn't even resemble anything in Star Wars, that'll be pretty understandable. But this will basically cover the tale of the first Jedi, which is a very interesting topic, and I think it could be the most unique Star Wars project of all time. So far back in time that, nothing is going to be the same. It has really no connection to any characters, and it just sounds like a really unique idea, and I hope they, follow through with it, and I can't wait to see what that's like. They've been calling it the Dawn of the Jedi, or at least that time period is called the Dawn of the Jedi, which is a callback to Legends, which is pretty cool. There was a lot of Legends love going on this weekend, which I really like. I'm not the biggest Legend fan on Earth, but it is cool to see those stories, get some time to shine. So, Dawn of the Jedi, I guess we'll see what that's about. James Mangold is a pretty good director, though. All these directors are, very talented, award-winning directors, so Star Wars is in good hands at this point. As far as other talks about movies in Star Wars, Taika Waititi, who plays IG-11, and he does a lot of the Marvel stuff, the Thor, Ragnaroks, and he's a really talented guy. He's had a Star Wars film that they announced a few years ago at some Disney event. They never announced the name or anything, but he's still working on it, so that is still in active development. And then they also talked about the Rian Johnson movies. Kathleen Kennedy basically just said that he's super busy right now, but they're definitely still working on it, and, I'm sure it'll be much in the future before we see anything like that happen. That is about it in terms of the movies. I was not expecting that big of news in terms of Star Wars movies. Obviously, it's been pretty cold for the past few years. I expected them to maybe drop like 1 or 2 movies, but the fact that we got 3 like completely announced and they are what they are, especially the Rey movie, it just seems like such a bold move, and I commend them for it, and I'm so excited for those movies. Again, the Rey one is supposed to be the first one that's coming out in December of 2025, and then the other 2 will follow in the coming years after that. So, guess we'll find out, and I hope we hear some more about those because they just sound absolutely amazing. In terms of shows, there was some good information about the upcoming shows and some things that are still in the works. Andor Season 2 is currently filming, and it's expected in August of 2024. Shit, I know I talked a lot of crap on Andor, but I'm super excited for Season 2. It's not that I've talked crap, it's just obviously I've said it's not my absolute favorite, but it is quality Star Wars, and I feel like they're getting closer and closer to the rebellion, um, part of the story. So it'll be cool to see some more rebel versus Empire action along with the high quality story that is Andor. So super excited for that. They showed a little bit of a kind of a teaser trailer there. You can find those sketchy images online if you want to. One cool thing that they talked about there was the Lando series. Kathleen Kennedy said that it is still in the works and that they're talking to Donald Glover, which he also did recently mention that it is still on the table and it's still in the works. They're just, they want to make it right. So I'm super excited for that. That would be awesome to have Donald Glover back as Lando. And hopefully they can include Billy D in there somewhere. I can always go for more Lando. So the Acolyte, oh man, the Acolyte looks so cool. They played an exclusive trailer there. Oh man, all these exclusive trailers are getting to me, but I did see a sketchy version online from somebody's phone, and it looks so cool. Like, probably one of the most unique, the most unique live action show to this point. Just Jedi everywhere, younglings. It's supposedly from the view of the villain in this series, which Amanda Stenberg and Lee Jung Jae, who is from Squid Game, they're the stars of the series, and it's gonna be pretty epic. It follows, these Sith characters. I believe it's set 100 years before the Phantom Menace, so a time period that we've never explored, and the quality of the show just looks absolutely fantastic. Eunice Suetamo is coming back to play a Jedi Wookiee. So he previously played Chewbacca in pretty much the all the Disney era movies and stuff. He's a great guy, and I'm glad to see him back in Star Wars. Finally, we have the Skeleton Crew. They play again another exclusive trailer. I'm sure these trailers will drop, to the public within the next few months or so. But Skeleton Crew, which is supposed to be released this year, takes place during the post Return of the Jedi era, the Mando era, and it's going to see Jude Law star as a Force sensitive being who's kind of guiding this group of kids on an adventure that sounds like they're going to get into some trouble. So I don't know too much about Skeleton Crew, but again, they played an exclusive trailer, and from what I saw, looks like a good fun show. So looking forward to that for sure. The last official announcement for the shows is that they are coming out with a season 2 of Tales of the Jedi. So it was that series of shorts that focused on Ahsoka and Dooku. There's going to be a season 2 focusing on new Jedi. I hope they kind of spread it out towards the original era or the sequel era. I do love the prequel Jedi, but it would be really cool to see some characters. I don't know, maybe not Obi-Wan, but maybe Luke or Rey, in that animation style. And obviously they're Jedi, so I feel like Tales of the Jedi, you could have that in there. But I'm super pumped for that. I loved the first season, and as long as they keep up the quality there, I feel like they can't miss. It wasn't an official announcement, but Ming-Na Wen, who plays Fennec Shand, she accidentally slipped up and said that she said something about Bad Batch season 3. That she's going to be involved with that. So Bad Batch season 3 is on the table. I know I was kind of worried that season 2 might be the end. That was kind of before the finale, so kind of figured after the finale that there'd be a season 3 the way they left it, but it's not official, but pretty official that Bad Batch season 3 is coming around. I would assume within the next couple of years, probably maybe in 2024, season 3 is going to come around. So, man, we just have so much on the table, and I know I keep saying it, but Star Wars is thriving, and seeing everybody have fun at Star Wars Celebration is super awesome. It looks absolutely packed. I'm honestly not that upset that I didn't go, but all the actors, they just seem like they're having so much fun, and they feel the support from the fans, which I love, because when you go online, it just feels like, there's just constant trash talking and hate. But when you go to an event like Star Wars Celebration, you really feel the love from the fans, and it's just amazing to see. I mean, all these interviews with Hayden and Ewan and Ian McDiarmid and Daisy Ridley, seeing them like, just cheered for and them smiling. And Hayden Christensen was tearing up at one point in one of his interviews that he did because the fans just would not stop clapping and cheering for him. So I just love seeing that stuff, and it feels really good as a fan to know, somebody who knows the history of what happened in the prequels, and I can only imagine what that felt like to be, Anakin Skywalker and then just get crapped on by the media, basically, and the fans. It's very gratifying, I'm sure, for Hayden to get all that love. So we're just absolutely eating right now, and it feels good. Star Wars really does feel like, or Lucasfilm, I guess, it just feels like they care about the fans and what they think, and I know that they want to do a good job for the fans and everything, and they always do their best to some people's delight, but obviously there's a lot of hate out there, but it just, I don't know, it feels so cool that we're getting a continuation of so many stories in Star Wars along with so many new ones. And man, I'm just vibing. I'm just absolutely vibing. Got that Star Wars IV hooked up, and I'm ready to go for the next like 3-4 years. I'm just hoping I make it that far. I don't want to miss out. Um, that's pretty much it in terms of news. We've got Jedi Survivor coming out. That is April 28th, so that should be fun. That game looks amazing. They dropped another trailer for it, and oh man, I was kind of concerned that it was going to be the same game as Fallen Order, kind of the same gameplay and just fighting stormtroopers and stuff, but it looks like they've really like revamped the gameplay, all the mechanics of it, added so many new features, and obviously the story is a completely unique story, which looks to be one of the coolest, like most unique stories in all of Star Wars. So it looks very Legendsy as well. Legends, I'm telling you, Legends is getting so much love, and if you go back and look at some of that material, you'll start to see that they don't necessarily copy it. Like they do a really good job of kind of just like recreating it and not copying exactly from Legends. But yeah, Fallen Order. It looks or Fallen Order. I always want to call it Fallen Order. Survivor looks pretty damn good, and I'll be playing it as soon as I possibly can. You guys have been following along with my Clone Wars journey, and season 2 is less wacky than season 1 for sure, but still pretty wacky. Now there's actually some pretty good action in season 2, and I'm looking forward to it. Now with Ahsoka coming out, though, I'm gonna have to get Kaylee caught up on Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels. I guess she probably doesn't need to watch Bad Batch before Ahsoka, but I did a calculation, and we have 181 episodes of Clone Wars and Rebels left before Ahsoka, so we got some serious watching to do. It's like more than an episode every single day that we have to watch, so I don't know if we're going to make it, but I hope we do, because I feel like she'll have a lot of fun with Ahsoka if she watches Rebels, so I probably at least got to get her to watch Rebels, if nothing else. She's already, she already kind of understands Ahsoka, but I guess there is a lot about her character, when she leaves the Jedi Order and everything, but I'm going to force her. Screw it. She's going to watch it whether she likes it or not. But yeah, guys, that's about it in terms of what I got for you today. I'm just absolutely vibing on Star Wars. I just built a Lego TIE Fighter. I just bought a Reva vintage figure for no reason. I'm just having fun, man, and it feels good to be damn near 27 years old and just still having so much fun with Star Wars. Makes me feel like a kid, and I just hope I never lose that feeling. Man, this is corny as hell, but I was just thinking of like, man, I want to have kids, and I want them to be like old enough when like new Star Wars is coming out still, so that I can take them to the movie theater or watch, the new shows every week with them. Cause dang, that would be so much fun. Oh man, I'm getting old. Oh man. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. Oh man, I'm too old. Alright, that's about it, guys. I'm gonna go use some moisturizer and maybe like hit the gym or something, cause gotta stay youthful. Gotta be around for my kids to watch Star Wars with me, so appreciate you guys listening. I'll be back next week. I don't think it'll be as eventful of an episode, but Mando continues. Like I said before, I'd appreciate if you go check out my YouTube channel. I've got some breakdowns and analysis there. Hope you guys have a great week ahead of you and are having fun with everything Star Wars. I will catch you next week. May the Force be with you. Peace.